Shifting focus to South Africa now, it has been a big day for Cyril Ramaphosa. He has been sworn in as president at a grand ceremony in Pretoria. He has officially inaugurated his second five-year term before MPs, foreign dignitaries, religious and traditional leaders at the Union buildings.
And so today, my fellow South Africans, is no ordinary day. It is a moment of fundamental consequence in the life of our nation. It is a moment when we must choose to either move forward together or risk losing all we have built.
Around 20 heads of state and government, many from neighboring nations, attended the ceremony. High-level officials from other countries, including China, Cuba and Palestine, also attended. The ceremony included a 21-gun salute and a fly-past by the South African Defence Force, in which they pledged their allegiance to the Republic and the Commander-in-Chief.
In this moment, we must choose to move forward, to close the distances between South Africans and to build a more equal society, to translate the promise of our Constitution and the vision of the Freedom Charter into a reality for all. This moment requires extraordinary courage and leadership. It requires a common mission to safeguard national unity, peace, stability, inclusive economic growth, non-racialism, and non-sexism.
The swearing-in of President Ramaphosa was conducted by Chief Justice Raymond Zondo in the Union Building's Nelson Mandela Amphitheatre. The inauguration commenced with a cultural program with local artists showcasing their talent and sharing South Africa's cultural diversity. The theme for the occasion is 30 years of democracy, partnership and growth. Throughout South Africa's history, inaugurations have held significance, and today's ceremony continues this tradition, celebrating democracy and leadership. The president took an oath of office, officially marking the end of the 2024 national and provincial government election cycle. Now, despite a 17% drop in voter support for the ANC, Ramaphosa has retained the presidency through a government of national unity with the DA, the IFP and other smaller parties. This is the third time that Cyril Ramaphosa has taken oath as president. He first came to power in 2018 after his predecessor and now rival Jacob Zuma was forced out before the end of his term amid corruption allegations. Ramaphosa was then reappointed for a full five-year term in 2019. He had promised a new dawn for South Africa and launched an anti-graft campaign. But in his last tenure, the country's economy crumbled, unemployment rose, crime and corruption remained rife, and there were frequent power cuts. Last month, he led the African National Congress into yet another vote, but Nelson Mandela's party came out bruised. The ANC had lost majority for the first time since the end of apartheid in 1994. The country was left scrambling for coalition partners to remain in power. It has since agreed to form a government of national unity with several other parties, including the opposition Democratic Alliance and the Inkatha Freedom Party. Now, at his swearing-in ceremony, Ramaphosa hailed the formation of the coalition as the beginning of a new era for South Africa.
The formation of a government of national unity is a moment of profound significance. It is the beginning of a new era. As we enter another era in the life of our nation, the resilience of our democracy has once more been tested, and the people have spoken loudly that they choose peace and democracy over conflict, violence, undemocratic and unconstitutional methods.
Now, with the swearing-in ceremony complete, Ramaphosa is staring at the next big challenge, the coalition cabinet. The ANC said it would form an inclusive cabinet, but the party still has to work out how to divide the top cabinet jobs and to overcome ideological differences with its new partners. Negotiations between the unity government partners will determine the composition of the executive. Discussions will be held on preferred portfolios, positions, and cabinet candidates, and key ministries such as finance, energy, foreign affairs, and public enterprises are among the most coveted portfolios. Unity government partners are expected to call for the plum cabinet posts. So, for Cyril Ramaphosa, balancing the demands of coalition partners and the ANC top brass could be tricky. What is certain is that the Ramaphosa 2.0 cabinet will undergo a major overhaul. Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison LaGrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections to climate change, to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.